Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Slightly feeling just a little bit better and a little bit better to return to work tomorrow. But how you guys doing today? I haven't done a live stream on the channel in a while, so being bedridden and all and everything, I'm happy to be able to get out of bed and not feel dizzy or any of that. So it's always a good thing. Always a good thing. Um, but welcome in. I have a couple things I want to talk about. I'm gonna try to stretch it to an hour. If I start feeling, a little bit odd, then I'll end the broadcast and go lay back down. Probably take some more medicine. Um, yeah, it's been a crazy week, crazy weekend too as well. Yeah, shout outs to those on Twitter that were like giving me advice, what to do regarding the flu. All your guys' suggestions, I've been doing them. It's helping, especially the ginger tea. That's a nice one. I appreciate that. But anyways, okay. So to kind of be clear of what I'm gonna be talking about today on this live stream podcast, I'm gonna be talking about Google Fi customer service. I got a bone to kind of pick with them. I'll explain the situation and also some improvements that I think it's not 7 improvements. I guess when I was typing out my title and I hit the shift, it didn't recognize it, so it put the number 7 rather than the at symbol or and symbol, not at and symbol. And so yeah, I'll correct the title later. Oh man, you guys can tell I'm out of it. Brian, what's up, man? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Also going to be talking about the Wear OS 4 update for the OG Pixel Watch. So if you've gotten it, congratulations to you. If you haven't gotten it yet, don't worry about it. It's coming out in waves, so you should be getting it over the next couple of weeks. We'll talk a little bit about that, and then there's one final major subject that I want to focus on. And I normally don't talk about this kind of things on this channel, but I kind of wanted to address this just because, there was a similar incident, kind of like, all throughout 2020, 2021 into 2022. And so, yeah, this pertains to the whole SS Sniper Wolf and Jax films and what recently happened with them. And I'm going to talk about that as from a content creator standpoint and why I think that YouTube does need to intervene and does need to do something about it. But I'll get all into that. That is like, the main course of the podcast today. Jeremy, what's up? Welcome in. The Boost Mobile OG logo. I like that. Okay, so with that being said, Google Fi. Google Fi has actually been doing fairly decent, I would say. There are a couple things that I wish that Google Fi would probably change when they can renegotiate their MVNO deal with T-Mobile. But nonetheless, right now, Google Fi service is if you don't know, it's an MVNO that uses T-Mobile's networks as well as has roaming agreements with the other carriers. And yeah, they offer phone services. So they got 3 plans. Their 3 plans are the Flex plan, which is $20 for unlimited talk and text, and then it's 10 gigabytes per data that you use on a single line, capping at 6 gigs. So if you go past 6 gigs, they stop charging you the $10 per gig, but you are throttled after 15 gigabytes of usage. Now if you have more than 1 line on the Flex plan, then the bill protection is what they call it. It caps at 100. So when you reach basically 10 gigs, they stop charging you. So anyways, yeah, they have a simply unlimited plan, which is $50 a month. For that plan, it is unlimited talk and text. It is 35 gigabytes of high-speed data access, and then you're throttled, and you do get 5 gigabytes of mobile hotspot. No support for data-only SIM cards because that comes with their higher tier plan, which is their Unlimited Plus. That gives you unlimited talk and text, 50 gigabytes of high-speed data access, and then you're throttled. But then you also have the ability to have a data-only SIM card connected to your line, which allows you to run that 50 gigs on your main phone line. You can put that data-only SIM in like a backup phone to just use for just like mobile connectivity for data. And it also comes with the Google One subscription and 1 year subscription to YouTube Premium. So that is the Unlimited Plus at $65 a month for that plan. Now, Google Fi, one of its main things is that it is for its main two things is obviously the Flex plan, allowing you to kind of do something similar to what Mobile X is offering, but there, Google Fi is more expensive compared to Mobile X, and international usage. So if you travel outside of the country, then Google Fi is going to be the best option right now that you could use if you're going to be traveling outside of the country. Now, there's a lot of YouTube videos that I recently saw that pretty much talks about Google Fi and international usage and how they were upset with it. And I was thinking that maybe there was something wrong, maybe something happened, but it turned out that a lot of these reviews that are like why they canceled their Google Fi subscription. A lot of them, they're people that travel outside of the country and they stay outside of the United States, maybe like 2 years at a time. And Google Fi would only give you service almost up to a year outside of the US. You have to come back to the United States. It has to ping off a US cell tower in order for your data to stay on. And in order for you to manage your accounts. Like if you wanted to change your plan while you're outside the country, you won't be able to. When you're inside the US and it registers that you are back in the United States, then you can make any changes to your account on Google Fi as you see fit. I know people look at the now when it comes to things like that. They look at the now and they say to themselves like, oh my God, this is so aggravating. Why can't I just change my plan now? However, if you were someone who traveled outside of the country and your information was compromised and you were back in the United States and you noticed that your Google Fi plan changed because somebody outside of the United States got your information and changed that, well, then you would be upset that Google Fi doesn't have anything in place to protect its customers from anyone outside of the US doing any types of changes to your account. Gotta remember, the agreements with Google Fi being outside of the United States, they have roaming agreements with a lot of companies out there that are international companies to us, local companies to all these different countries. And a lot of that partnership is through, T-Mobile, right? T-Mobile has some pretty good connections outside of the United States with roaming agreements internationally for U.S. customers, and Google Fi gets to take advantage of that. So that's always a good thing. But aside from all of Google Fi and just like the things that it has to offer, there's one particular area with Google Fi that I think Google really needs to pay attention to, and it's their customer service, but not their customer service by phone calls, their customer service by chat. The 5 times in the last week that I've spoken to a Google Fi rep by phone has been by far a great experience. Been a really good experience. The person seems US based, just based upon our conversations. You'll know when you get a representative from the Philippines, or you will get a representative from India. They have the accent, you can tell, right? The 5 reps that I spoke to by phone on an issue that I was having with my Google Fi account, all of them were US based. So that goes to tell me that they have US based reps here to talk to by phone. So I would always recommend people that want somebody from the US to try your luck by phone to get somebody on the phone to talk to. Like sometimes we don't want to talk to somebody vocally, we just want to chat. But that's where I think the chat is primarily overseas. And the reason why I say that is because, just to kind of break it down to you. So my kids, they want a Google Fi service, right? So basically they were added on to the Google Fi account, and they have my daughters have their Mobile X line as not really a secondary. They have both. They have both eSIMs on their phones. They can toggle in between when they want to. It's their allowance. They're paying their stuff, so I ain't worried about it. However, so when setting that up, my oldest daughter's line set up easily, set up just fine on her iPhone. She's good to go. When I start setting up my youngest daughter and my youngest son's phone line, we ran into an issue. Okay, now I understand that Google looks at these things and they may see like suspicious activity, and so they're gonna kind of put a halt to things, right? Okay, no harm, no foul, Google. No harm, no foul. I have no problem with extra security. What I have a problem with is lack of security. So even if it was to frustrate me in that moment, like I'll take a couple of deep breaths and just, you know, chill with it, you know? I don't know about you guys. I don't know about anybody else. If you guys, do you guys get upset if there's like more security than what you think versus having less security? Chime off in the comments and let me know. Would you guys prefer more security or less security? So, anyways, I chat in with the first rep for my daughter's phone line activation because their Google accounts accepted the invite to be in a family plan. That was not a problem, but the activation on the phone was the problem. And we got an error message that said that they could not activate her line because her line is not authorized to be used. So I'm like, okay, her account's not authorized to be used. Why? So chatting with them, explain the situation. They're like, what error code did you get? So I follow their instructions to find the error code. I hit the need more help. It pops up, gives the error code B077. Now, I am looking into researches exactly what error code B077 means to Google Fi, because then the guy started asking, like, okay, what kind of phone did you have? My daughter has the Pixel 4, and they were like, okay, well, we're going to need proof of purchase. I'm like, why? Why do you need proof of purchase? The phone has activated on Google Fi before. I never called the phone in stolen, so I don't know why there would be an issue with it. Now, I do know there's limitations to eSIM activations, right? And how many times you can activate, the eSIM, sort of. So I'm like, okay, I've had it on multiple Google Fi accounts. Maybe that's the reason why. Kind of explained that to the guy. The guy was, like, yeah, we understand, but in order for me to escalate this, I need you to give me a proof of purchase. So I started throwing scenario curveballs at this guy because I'm like, this guy's perfect to start finding out like how the customer service is going to handle things. So I explained to him, like, okay, the Pixel 4 came out, 4 generations ago. Okay, who really holds on to receipts, documents like that for so many years? I shred mine. I don't know about you guys. If any of y'all have sensitive information, do you guys shred yours? Because I shred mine. Because otherwise I would be hoarding paperwork all over in my room, right? So that's not always good. So I explained that to the rep, and the rep's like, oh yeah, just to tell you the problem. There's an issue with the phone, and we need proof of purchase. So you would need to use another phone. I'm like, okay. So I asked him, like, is this a tactic to get me to buy a phone from Google Fi? And he swore up and down, no, we're not trying to tell you to buy one from Google Fi. We're just telling you to use another phone. So I'm like, I got a bunch of phones on my desk, right? You guys know that. But I decided to play another curveball at him. I'm just like, well, I'm not made of money, and I can't buy another phone. Can you guys do like an IMEI check? I assure you, the phone is not reported stolen or anything like that. It's my phone that I gave to my daughter. And they're like, well, I'm sorry. I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but we need proof of purchase before I can escalate this up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so if I use another phone, her line will activate. So the rep says yes. I'm like, okay. I tell him to hold on. I was like, I have a Pixel 6a that's on a different provider. I'll take the SIM card out of that. I'll sign into her Google account. I'll go through the activation process. As I'm doing that, they disconnect the chat with me, right? Because when the chat disconnects, because at the bottom it tells you, if you want to download the script of your chat, it means that they ended the session. So I was like, damn. Okay, so I downloaded it from my records. It was emailed to me. And I opened up another chat, talked to another person, explained to what the previous rep said, which they're able to see the chat log from the previous chat rep. They are able to see that. So if they try to tell you I can't see what the last person said, that's a lie. The same way you get a download of the chat script, that's auto notated on your Google Fi account that the representatives are able to see in order to assist you with your services and your queries. So the person read the chat. They apologized. They were like, that's not the issue. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking it has to do with the fact that, this Google Fi account, which was mine, the main account, was maybe like 2 days old, and now I'm adding lines to it. To basically have the 4 lines for 80, right? And so the person goes through the entire situation. I explained to them. They wanted me to screenshot what the top error note said and not the bottom error code. I screenshotted that, um, you know, attached that to the chat. They opened it and read it. They're like, okay, we do need to escalate this, and it's going to take a turnaround time of 24 to 72 hours to get it resolved. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, escalate it, get it up there, get your tier 2 support team to work on this, right? And I told him, like, my daughter goes back to school here soon. She's gonna need a phone line, even though she has her Mobile X phone line, and that's the number that she primarily uses. But like, to be able to have like T-Mobile connection in areas where Verizon doesn't do good, that's the whole entire purpose. So anyways, they go to escalate it. They apologize for the inconvenience. They apologize for the previous rep lying, and we go forward from there. And then the same issue happened to my son's line, my youngest son's line. Same thing, but because the second rep that I chatted with explained a lot, I was able to explain that to the next rep that I had for my son's line. Since you have to chat with the Google rep from the Google account that's experiencing the issue, even though my Google account is the governing account for the Google Fi services. Yeah, sounds like a bunch of crapola. A bunch of crapola it was. That must be a dish well served wherever that first chat rep is from. And hopefully they're getting a nice slice of humble pie to like not lie to their customers. So, with that being said, so they escalate my son's line, so now his is also an escalation. I'm waiting for an email from their tier 2 team to tell me that they removed the restrictions and that his line should go ahead and activate. So that way, when we take a small trip here and there, all my kids are gonna have phone service and all that other stuff, right? Like, I was originally on the Unlimited Plus plan, but I was like, instead of just getting a data only SIM card and sharing that 50 gigs with my son, where half and half would be 25 each, I'll just add a line, downgrade my plan to the Simply Unlimited, get him his own phone line. He's got 35 gigs of his own to mess with. I got 35 for myself. I have my Boost Infinite line that gives me 50 gigs because of the Speed Pass. So I'm good on data connection wherever I go, and I can always like double up 2 SIMs on one phone. Plus I have my Mobile X line too as well. So I got, I don't really need like fully unlimited. I got enough data from each of my phone lines to be able to do what I want to do. And it's gonna be totally fine. I would like an awkward conversation with the first rep and why they lied. Yeah. So the last rep that I spoke to, and I spoke to by phone, because the first rep kind of making it seem like that my Pixel 4 was marked as lost or stolen, or whatever. So I called by phone. So I went into support, and how it gives you the 3 options: you can chat, email, or get a phone call from them. I chose get a phone call. It said it would be a 10-minute wait to get a phone call to me. It was like less than a minute. They called, got on the phone, spoke with somebody, and obviously based in the US, had like a good 15-minute conversation. They saw the chat log, they read through it. I explained, like, look, that person has me worried because my Pixel 4 should not be marked as stolen. And right now it's active right now. My daughter's line is fully active right now, activated on eSIM. I'd rather have it on eSIM where there's not a physical SIM for anyone to take out. Some people are just not that tech savvy to where to go to disable a SIM. So if the phone's ever missing, then we're able to find it with the Find My Device. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I spoke to them. It's been escalated. They assure me that they're going to take care of that. They apologized. They did hook it up. I didn't ask for anything in return, but they did decide to hook it up on my next bill. So a little bit taken off my next bill. Hey, that's fine. I'm not going to argue that, But this is Google Fi's problem. And the reason why I'm telling you this recent story is because in all my time, I've been on and off with Google Fi. And every time that I chat in with a chat rep on an issue, I always get 2 to 3 different reasons why I'm experiencing an issue. And then one of them seems to be correct. The other one seems to be false. Like they're thinking ahead than actually troubleshooting my issue. They think they know what's going on, so they just tell me what's off the top of their head to get me off the chat. And if this is the type of customer service that Google Fi is allowing to handle their customers, they seriously need to go back to the drawing board and maybe bring those jobs. I'm sorry to say it, I sound like an ass, but this is kind of the reason why people get mad about overseas care reps. It's not that people don't like people from other countries for that reason, right? Keeping it sensitive because of YouTube. But it's because there just seems to be a language barrier that is hard to break through on the customer side. And I could tell you from experience, it's really not that hard to break through that. It's just the rep is deciding to stonewall you because they don't want to deal with you. And when you hire people like that are in there just for the paycheck and really don't care about helping their customers, what customer base are you going to have if the experience is always shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why, like, okay, some people may look at the type of job that I do, being a customer care rep, and be like, yeah, that's a pretty lowly job. But I love my job, and I love helping customers. I may not be able to give you everything that you want within reason, but my main priority is to take care of you and make sure that your services is good, and you as a customer have what you need to be able to utilize your services at the maximum capability. That is my goal. My goal is not to credit your account thousands of dollars because I'm going to sympathize with you. I have no sympathy for anybody. I have empathy. I don't have sympathy. They paid to blame the customers. Yeah. And this is an ongoing pattern with Google Fi. Like, this is something that they really, really, really need to get a hold of, because they're not really going to have customers. Like, Google Fi already, it's hard to compete with what's out there. And this goes into my next part of Google Fi. Like, what can they approve? And one thing that I feel like that they need to do is get back to the table with T-Mobile and renegotiate their MVNO deal. You have companies like Boost Infinite that offers unlimited at $25, right? If you were able to sign up during the beta phase and you have early infinite access, you get a little bit of perks with that, like international calling up to so many minutes, international text, a little bit of hotspot usage without the need to add it on, right? So yeah, but at the end of the day, that's $25. You go with the Unlimited Plus plan on Boost Infinite and you get an iPhone 14 on them. That's what, $50? You go with the Infinite Infinite Access iPhone plan and get a new iPhone every year. That's $60, right? So the top paying plan is $60 and you get an iPhone 15 with it. Any one of the iPhone 15 models for $60. On Google Fi, it's $65, unlimited talk, unlimited text, 50 gigs of high-speed data access, the option to get a data-only SIM card, Google One subscription with 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, and YouTube Premium for $65, right? The taxes and fees on Google Fi are a lot higher than the taxes and fees on Boost Infinite. All right, my $30 because I have the legacy speed pass, but I pay $30 a month for Boost Infinite. And my taxes and fees, when my bill's calculated, so $30 for my plan and add-on together before tax. After tax, it's $30.34. Taxes and fees on Boost Infinite is 34 cents. This is why I don't have sympathy for people who are like, well, Metro does this, taxes and fees included. I don't give a shit compared to Boost Infinite because the taxes and fees are fucking cents. They're not even over $1. Why am I going to cry about something less than $1, you know? Google Fi, on the other hand, it's like $6 to $7 in taxes and fees. That's a huge difference. So I feel like that Google Fi really needs to kind of just look at what they're doing, and whatever model that Boost Infinite is doing, they need to, in order to become competitive. out there as an option, because not every US citizen is traveling outside every year of the United States. It's a very small portion of people that travel overseas periodically throughout the year, and you're not making money off of that. I can swear to Google they're not making money off of that. Yo, Coffee, what's up? What's going on? I was told my location was bad, trees and lake, even though they had tower problems. Of course, this was T-Mobile that was changing plans. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so they need to become more competitive. They need to basically talk with T-Mobile. They need to renegotiate their MVNO plan as far as what they're paying for access, so that way they could adjust what they're charging their customers, right? I feel like for Google Fi to remain competitive, okay, their Simply Unlimited plan needs to come down to $25 for what you're getting. If they take away the 5 GB of hotspot, take it away, whatever. Because you got Mobile X that offers you 30 gigs of high-speed data, unlimited talk and text for 25 bucks, well, 24.88 plus taxes. It'll come out to about 25 and some change. You got Boost Infinite offering it at 25 with a few cents. If you want to go prepaid on Dish side and you say Boost Mobile has a $25 plan. And that gives you unlimited talk, text, 30 gigs of high-speed data. Boost Mobile also has a $40 unlimited plan and I believe a $60. So, and the main changes of those between that and the 25 is the amount of hotspot that you can do. I think it's like 12 gigs on the $40 unlimited plan, and it's 30 gigs on the $60 plan. That is the only way Google Fi is going to be competitive against the other companies out there, right? Like, that's the only way. If you compare it to Metro by T-Mobile, Metro by T-Mobile has unlimited talk and text, unlimited data. If you're a user over 35 gigs, you'll experience slow speeds in moments of congestion. But if not, your speeds remain the same throughout your bill cycle, right? And they give you Google One access at 100 gigabyte cloud storage on the $60 plan, right? It's 65 without autopay. That already kind of, in a lot of users' eyes, it beats Google Fi's Unlimited Plus plan for the simple fact that you get, all that data to use. If you use a lot of data, you get all that data to use, and on Google Fi, you're at 50 gigabytes of high-speed data, which is still a lot. In my opinion, it's still a lot. But I know some of you guys could really go the distance and go like 100 gigs in one bill cycle, and I find that to be amazing. But that's just me. Okay. So anyways, yeah, that's Google Fi in a nutshell. That's what they need to change is their pricing. And I feel like that they need to just bring those chat jobs, majority of them, at least a good, I would say a good 80% of them should be US based, right? Hire people here. There's a lot of people here that are, used to remote working that you'll get some good people working remote. People like myself, I do miss going into an office and being around coworkers, but at the same time too, I do enjoy the fact that my job allows me to work remotely because I can be at home, with my kids and know that they're safe because they're only in the next room away from me. So remote work has its plus and minuses. Anyways, that's pretty much Google Fi in a nutshell. I want to switch it up a little bit and go to Pixel Watch, the OG Pixel Watch getting Wear OS 4. It's the update's rolling out. It's rolling out in phases, so if you didn't get it, don't get pissed off. Okay, it's rolling out in phases. You can always check. I don't think I got it yet on my Pixel Watch. I have my watch basically connected to Wi-Fi, so when the system update is ready, I can install it on my watch. There is one big benefit. They like outsourcing the cheaper labor. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Brian. Boost Infinite's going to do that here really soon. I'll tell people that. That's about as far as I'll go on that. But yeah, Wear OS 4 has one feature I'm really happy about. And that feature is that you guys know I have a bunch of Pixel phones You guys know that I change my Pixel phones like a woman changes her shoes, like, like we change our boxers or underwear. Yeah. Any battery improvements? I don't have Wear OS 4 on my watch yet, so I can't tell you if the battery is superly improved. I'm hearing from other people that got the update. Like, there's a Twitter user that goes by the handle, I think, like Robin Arizona. You guys may have seen him on Twitter. He lives out there in Scottsdale, and he's got the Pixel Watch and loves tweeting about it. And he's already dropping some info on improvements. Of course, I'm not very active on Twitter, and I apologize for that. I try to be as I can, but I'm mostly active on Threads. And yeah, so if you're on Threads by Instagram and you have Instagram, you guys can find me on Threads. Um, the link username is in the description if you guys want to go find me. But I'm mostly active on there, and I'll post the improvements that I see on there. Yes, no need to reset the device once. Brian, you beat me to it. Brian is guilty of like when that one person blows out your birthday candle. Oh my God. Excuse me. I'm still under the weather and I'm still recovering, and I gotta recover by tomorrow because I have to return to work tomorrow. I have to. I'm falling behind on work and I need to get caught up. But yes, Brian is right. Brian is absolutely right. That is my favorite new feature on the Pixel Watch OG. It's also on the Pixel Watch 2. So somebody don't ask me that question. Is this on the Pixel Watch 2 as well? Obviously, that watch is the newer watch. It's gonna have these features. As a matter of fact, the Pixel Watch 2 has one additional feature that is not mentioned the Pixel Watch OG has, and I'll let you know if this feature makes it to the Pixel Watch. Um, but yeah, the ability to just switch from my Pixel 7a to my Pixel 4 XL and be able to connect my watch to the Pixel 4 XL without having to wipe it. That was one of my biggest gripes. It is so annoying because you have to wipe the watch, it erases everything on it. You have to repair it to your new device you're going to use. Then you got to go through the whole setup process again. You got to download your watch faces that you had on there. You have to, set up your settings the way you want it. And then it's got to update all the native apps inside of the watch. It's got to go to the Play Store and re-download. And it's 22 apps it has to update every time. It's annoying to do that. So to be able to just say, okay, today Pixel 7a staying home. I want to take my Pixel 4 XL because I'm going to be using the telephoto lens in photography. Pair my watch to it. Don't have to wipe it. Don't have to lose any data on it. It just connects. And we started seeing this when they started having the Google account linked to it. I don't know if people noticed that, but in the last month and a half, you were able to connect your watch specifically to your Google account, and it was already in the necessary steps to backing up your data. Because now, along with the ability to just pair your watch to another device, another Pixel device, as long as it's signed into the same Google account, you can just automatically pair it without wiping it. It also backs up your data on your watch. So everything that you have on your watch, it'll back it up to the Google Cloud Storage, and you're going to be good on that. It also has a new safety feature that I think is going to be beneficial. So yes, for Christmas, I am going to gift both my daughters a Pixel Watch, the same as mine, the non-LTE version, or I might get them the LTE version. Oh no, never mind. Oh, I'll go into that a little bit later. I may get them the LTE version anyways because it's gone down in price some. But so there's this feature now that you're going to get on your Pixel Watch, and it's going to ask you if you're okay. And and if you don't respond within a certain time when it gives you that notification, if there's absolutely no response by you, it's going to notify your emergency contact. So whoever you made your emergency contact on your Pixel Watch, it's going to send them a message to check on you. I think that's great. I think that's great because my daughters can wear their watch when they go to school. I'm going to let their teachers know, like, hey, I'm very protective of my kids. They got a smartwatch on. It's not going to disrupt your class, but you may see her fiddle with it if she gets a notification to check on her while she's in your class. Do not write her up or we will have words. Trust me, I'm not the parent to fuck with when it comes to teachers today. I'm not gonna cower because it's a teacher. If I feel like the teacher's in the wrong, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say about it because they're teaching my child, and I want my child to be taught properly. I want my child to learn. I don't want my child to learn, these theories that they want to push in school, these agendas they want to push in schools, or these political point of views, or the teacher's personal life. I want my child to learn math, science, history, English, and language arts. That's what I want my kids to learn. Damn the other shit. But yeah, so I will confront a teacher. So yeah, I'll let that teacher know because these days you just never know. And in my state of Arizona, human trafficking is high. It's up there in crime rate in this state. We're a border state. So I always fear for my kids, my son, my daughter. And yes, I fear for my son too. Most people think, well, your daughters you got to protect. No, you got to protect your sons too, because there's weirdos around the world, you know. So my son may even get a Pixel Watch himself. Right now, they've been using my Amazfits. They've been using these to show me that they can take care of them. They can take care of this. I will get them a Pixel Watch with a case to protect the screen and stuff like that. And it's their job to charge it. And they've been doing a good job. I haven't been reminding them to charge their watch. They keep track of their battery life on it, and then they put it to charge when it's at like 15%. But that's another feature. Basically, is the watch will check on you, and if you don't reply, it will notify an emergency contact. The other feature that's coming to Pixel Watch 2 that wasn't named to come to the original Pixel Watch, hopefully we get it, is similar to that, and it's a safety check. It's a safety check that kind of correlates with that well, the feature I talked about is a safety check. This feature kind of correlates with it, and what that is if for any reason, right, like fall detection, crash detection is tripped, okay, it will give an alert. Now this is only for the Pixel Watch 2 LTE models, okay? So if you have the non-LTE, this is not going to work for you. Well, what it does is that even if you don't have a service plan connected to your Pixel Watch 2 LTE model, if crash detection, fall detection is tripped, and there's no response by you, it will automatically connect to an LTE signal and reach out to emergency services. That is pretty cool because you never know. You could be driving, heaven forbid, knock on wood, something happens, you're in a car accident, you're incapacitated, you're not responding, your watch can very well save your life. Detecting the fact that it was in a crash, you not responding to any of the notifications from the watch itself, and even though you don't have active service on your watch from, say, Verizon, Visible, or Google Fi, or T-Mobile, or any of those companies that offer a watch service plan, you may not have a watch service plan. You may be using it in tandem with your Pixel phone or your smartphone, whatever you're using. It will connect to the LTE network on its own because it's in that emergency mode. Whatever network is nearby that the SIM is able to read, it will automatically be granted access for that moment to be able to reach out for emergency services and get you help. That's pretty cool. I think that should be backported to the original Pixel Watch LTE models as well. I mean, I don't see what would hinder the capabilities of it doing that. Of course, there's the other, subtle updates to the user interface as well as battery optimization and things like that. So when I get my update on my watch, I will let you guys know how the battery performs. Of course, people are making mention that the original Pixel Watch takes longer to charge than what it used to. I'm thinking that, with the most recent security patch update to the watch itself, I mean, it did that because they're trying to extend the life of the battery. And I'm okay with that. At the times, because I work remote, if my battery is low, I throw it on the charger while I'm working. Like in an hour or so, it's fully charged, back on my wrist, ready to go for another day. I'm not worried about it not charging super fast. Some people do. Hey, that's fine. You know what I mean? Get the Pixel Watch 2. It's got faster charging speeds. The The other thing that is pretty cool about the Pixel Watch 2 is that you're able to get into ADB and service your watch, because the charging I'm not trying to knock things over here, but like my charging dock looks like this. The charging dock for the Pixel Watch 2 has 4 metal pins inside the puck, and when it's connected, you can put the watch in fast boot mode and be able to do things with it. So now I'm expecting to start seeing a development community based on the Pixel Watch 2. Maybe some custom watch ROMs, user interfaces, some additional things that it could do. Because like right now, Apple and the Apple Watch series is able to read glucose levels, right? So those who are diabetic are more than likely going to switch to iPhones to get the watch, because I'll tell you from personal experience, I hate pricking my fingers just to get a drop of blood into the strip to read my blood levels, my sugar levels. It hurts. A while your fingers start to hurt, and I crush keyboards for a living. So having to prick my finger and the spot that you don't feel it the most is closest to your nail, because you have less nerve endings there, but still your fingers get tender, right? So to have a watch that could read your blood glucose levels just being on your wrist, and if it's that accurate, that's great. So hopefully in a Pixel Watch 3 they bring that. That would be great. I was saying it before the Pixel Watch 2 ever came out. I was saying that's something that they should have brought in, was a glucose reader, being able to read your blood sugars, because face it, a lot of the foods that we ate today are very unhealthy. So being chances of someone being type 2 diabetic is pretty high. But anyways, that is the latest on the Wear OS 4 update. So be on the lookout for that. You can check your system updates on your watch. Make sure, I would say, if the system update is available, head into your settings on your watch, go to connectivity, and connect to your Wi-Fi directly and let it update that way. It'll be a lot faster than doing it through Bluetooth connection to your phone. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about here is not tech related, but it is YouTube related, and it's not so much focusing on the whole SS Sniper Wolf and Jax Films beef. Like I could really give a shit about Leah's content and how she's reacting to TikTok and stuff like that. I get what Jax Films is doing, because yes, I've seen some of Sniper Wolf's videos. My oldest daughter was subscribed to her channel, was a big fan of hers, and when my daughter would watch her videos, there was something that I noticed about it, and that's when Sniper Wolf reacts to a TikTok video or any video out there, she doesn't credit the creators, right? She's got like 30 million subscribers on YouTube. She's got a big fan base here. She's got a big fan base on Instagram, like 5.6 million subscribers on Instagram. She's huge. She's making a lot of money. She's got, endorsement deals and shit like that. Great. Good for her. You know what I mean? The battle between her and Jax Films is like on this crusade to stop people from freebooting and making money off other people's content without crediting the creator. I get that. Kudos on him, right? I'm not here to say who's right or wrong, but what I'm talking about in this video is what happened to Jax Film because of Sniper Wolf, and why she's in the wrong, and why isn't YouTube doing anything about it. See, on YouTube, we have terms of service, right? For me on YouTube, I got to walk on eggshells. I got to make sure what I'm doing is okay, because, shit can happen. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I got in trouble with YouTube once when I live reacted to the Apple event. Apple hit me with a strike immediately. So I got a warning never to do it again. Now, if you guys want to know what Sniper Wolf did, Jax Films created a parody channel of Sniper Wolf, because how she has SS Sniper Wolf, she has the S's in it, so like Sniper Wolf. Jax Films created a parody channel where he critiques all of her videos, and it's comedy for some. I know for Sniper Wolf it's not, because it's about her. And that's what he does. And it's called Jax something. There's like Jax Films or something like that. But basically, yeah, it's a parody channel. And he not only critiques her videos, but he also credits the creators in her videos that she's reacting to. And then he plays this online bingo game with it, where they put like a lot of Sniper Wolf sayings in her reaction videos, and if he hears that during a video that he's reviewing, he will check it off until he gets bingo. Like I said, very, yeah, I can see why it pisses off somebody like her. The problem with that is, in fact, is that she doxed him. Now, she doesn't believe that she doxed him. She goes on to social media to say that she's the victim and that he's stalking her. But, I've been kind of looking over this for the last couple of days. I found the live stream that Jack's Film was doing. He was doing a live stream with some other creators. And you can hear the other creators telling him that Sniper Wolf and her sister was outside of his house in California. Apparently, those people screen grabbed a lot of her stuff off Instagram before she could delete it. But she posted an Instagram story asking her fan base, should she go to his house and confront him about the channel he created and what he's been doing, critiquing her content. I guess her fan base said yes. So she actually drove to Jack's Film's house, got on there, and recorded a Instagram story showing this creator's house. And she even took a photo of his house and posted it on her Instagram. Yet she's going around saying that he's stalking her. See, the problem with it is, and why this is such a big deal, it has nothing to do. It's not sexist. It has nothing to do because she's a female. It's none of that stuff. It has to do with the fact that she went to this guy's house, right? She may not have any intentions, because that's what she's going on right now. She's posting on social media that Jack is weak because he's afraid of a 110-pound girl or whatnot. And other creators that are talking about this are bringing up her armed robbery case and whatnot from back in the day. I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to go strictly on the point, the principle behind it. She may be 110 pounds, and I don't think that's what Jack's Films is worried about, right? I don't think that's what he's worried about. I think what he's worried about is her 5.6 million followers on Instagram, right? You cannot deny the fact that out of those 5.6 million followers on Instagram that Sniper Wolf has, you cannot deny that there's got to be at least about 50 subscribers that are not mentally there, that will simp over her and will do something that they think is going to impress her, right? These days we live on social media, so we try to project ourselves in a certain way. We do this to attract the opposite sex, or to attract a person of interest. Let me just put it that way. Let's be fair in all areas, right? And that those crazy psycho people would do something. So the fact that Jack took to his channel and did a live broadcast and explained how he felt, and explained that him and his wife feel violated and don't feel safe in their own home. For people to question that, like, how do you don't feel safe in your own home? Go get a gun. Well, first of all, they live in the state of California, so a gun is not an option for them. To protect themselves, to make sure, they would have to hire a private security firm with 24-hour around-the-clock security. That's expensive. And I doubt that Sniper Wolf would pay that bill. So I get where Jack is coming from. If someone found my location and put it online, I would be worried because I have my kids. Like, for me to get into squabbles with somebody, I don't care, dude. Let's duke it out. Like, I don't give a shit if I win or lose, but I'm gonna get you with a couple of hits. You will never forget who I am after I get you with those hits. I will do my damnedest before I go down if I lose to anybody, which I have no intentions of losing. I'm very arrogant in that. So I don't mind doing that. All right. I don't mind catching fades. I don't mind. What I do worry about is my kids. My kids are my everything. They are my entire world. Let me take a step back here because YouTube. But yeah, I will mess somebody up over my kids. Hands down. No questions asked. And my state is a state that supports the Second Amendment. So keep that in mind too if you want to get weird. Keep that in mind. But yeah, I would fear for my kids. Not only just at home, right? Because let's say Jack's wife goes to the grocery store and somebody wants to get back at him for Sniper Wolf because they think in their head mentally that if they do this, the next day Sniper Wolf's going to show up at their house and fall madly in love with them and want them to move in with her and live at her mansion and have the plush life with her. They will generally, seriously, in their mental capacity, believe that's what's going to happen if they do something to hurt this guy or to hurt his wife, right? It doesn't have to happen at their house. Someone could be staking out the house, waiting for his wife to leave to go to the grocery store by herself. Maybe Jack's doing a live stream. She decides to go to the store to get something to prepare them for dinner. And somebody decides to follow her, tries to run her off the road. Or, hell, heaven forbid, abducts her, right? Sniper Wolf doesn't think that she doxed this man. She did. Putting his photo of his house online, she did. I'm a nobody here on YouTube, right? You have countless of big YouTube channels like there's a couple of them, I forget their names, that have been speaking on this, and they have said that they've gone on Google and searched this man and tried to see if his address was accessible, and to them they couldn't find it. I'm a nobody without the resources to find somebody, and I try to Google search Jack's Film's home address. It doesn't come up on the very first page of the search. It doesn't even come up on the second, third, fourth, or fifth page of a Google search. So for her to say that it's on Google, anybody can find it, that's like a blanket statement. Yeah, it's on Google somewhere. How much shit do you have to sift through to find it? So it's not like she Google searched this guy's address and it was the very first thing that popped up, or the Bard AI brought it up in the AI results. She doxed him. And she put his life in jeopardy. Over what? Because he critiqued her videos? There's people that tell me my videos suck all the time. I get countless comments that I review every day in YouTube studios to get some sort of feedback from people. I get people that tell me that I'm butt ass ugly and how dare I put my ugly ass face on YouTube. I get people that say that I sound like a bitch. I get people that tell me shit all the fucking time on a daily basis. I continue to do this and come back on here and make my videos because I don't care. Why does she care what Jax does? I mean, yeah, he's got like 4 million subscribers, almost 5 million subscribers, somewhere around there, ballpark it. She's got 30 million. She's got a way bigger fan base than he does. Why is she worried? You know? Why is she worried? And then she's got her sister who's defending her on social media. And it's just getting out of hand. I mean, I don't know if Sniper Wolf really thought about it. She lost her deal with G Fuel. G Fuel pulled her signature flavor off their website. You can't buy, I think it's Wolfberry was the name of the flavor. You can't buy it anymore. It's not on there. Everyone was showing the page, error 404, when you select it to go to that page to get a description of the flavor of that drink flavor. It's not there anymore. So my thing is the whole doxing thing, and the reason I speak on it is because it's happened. Some of you guys that's familiar in the tech space knows what happened over the last 3 years. We're not going to relive memory lane. We're not going to point fingers at anybody because everything has smoothed out, and I'm very happy that all parties involved are doing well. They're doing their own thing, and they're successful in what they're doing, and big shout outs to all of them that were involved in that beef. But it did get out of hand. It did get out of hand where people's addresses were being found. People were sent things. All kinds of shit was done. And you just never know. You never know what goes on. Like, I don't care if another creator hates me and wants to talk shit about me, my weight, how my face looks, how my voice sounds, how my hair looks, the type of clothes I wear. I don't give a flying flip about any of that stuff because they don't pay my bills and they're not in control of my life. What I do worry about, though, is my kids. And I make that clear to anyone that ever does anything to my kids, whether they're unsuccessful at harming my kids or they are successful at harming my kids. The moment that you did that, the next thing you should do is buy you a Coke, have a smile a brief second, and then make your peace with God. That's that. Simple as that. And I'm sure any father out there feels the same way about their child. My thing in this life is my hopes and dreams are no longer something that I go after. Not right now. Every hope and dream that I have is on pause. Way back in the day, when my first daughter was born, around that time before she was born, my ambitions was to be a big time YouTube channel like Marquez Brownlee and Mr. Who's the Boss and all those people. I wanted this channel to be that big. I wanted to have thousands of people on the live stream engaging. I wanted that. I'm not so sure if I want that anymore, that I haven't been pursuing it, but I stopped pursuing it the day that I held my daughter for the first time in my arms. And I was like, I'm still gonna make videos and I'm still gonna upload to YouTube. I'm just not gonna push as hard. And throughout the years, I've just been kind of just floating underneath, just putting my content up. Kind of got burnt out a couple of times and wanted to walk away from it, just to kind of get my sanity back. But I never really tried to push. I never really tried to put myself on the trendings page, because right now my focus is making sure that my kids achieve all their goals and all their dreams. That's my goal now. It's always been, since the moment I held my oldest daughter for the first time. It's been that. And once all my kids are graduated, if I'm still doing this, which will be I'll be 51 when all my kids are graduated, right? So 10 years from now, when they're all graduated out of high school and they're doing their thing, my wife and I, my retirement plan is I'm gonna buy me a food truck. I'm gonna buy a food truck and I'm gonna buy a mobile home. And my wife and I are going to travel across the United States for a couple of years. We want to see all the landmarkings, all the national monuments, all the national parks, all the great places. And we're going to start up in the north and travel east and west, back and forth until we get through the south and we return home. One of us is going to drive the mobile home, which is going to be a big size camper for me and her, because it's just me and her. And one of us is going to drive the food truck, because that's how I'm going to pay for my way to get across country. Every place that I'm going to set up, I'm going to make sure that I have my food licenses in check with that state, my food handler's card, so I can sell food. And my wife and I, we're going to have a very unorthodox menu consisting of some Mexican staples, some Asian staples, and some American fast food classics. And we're just going to sell food, and that's how we're going to pay for our gas travels. The mobile home is where we're going to live in, so we'll rarely need a hotel. And when I do that, if I'm still doing YouTube, of course, I'm going to vlog daily on this channel. I will vlog daily of my adventures. I will live stream when I go to national parks, like going to Mount Rushmore and hiking it. I will live stream and show you guys what I'm seeing. That is my future plan. So that will begin in 10 years. In 10 years, that is what I plan to do. So at the end of it all, it sucks to say that I am one of the creators that is supporting the fact that, Sniper Wolf needs to be deplatformed. I think that should be at the discretion of YouTube and talks with Jack's Films and her. Because if Sniper Wolf and Jack's Films can actually have a sit down face to face and talk things out, maybe Jack might have a change of heart. Maybe he won't ask, for her to be demonetized on YouTube. If the apology is sincere. But if it continues on like this, yes, YouTube does need to step in, because this violates the terms of services of YouTube. We are not, as creators, we are not allowed to behave this way. Secondly, in California, it's against the law to do that. So if Jack decides to pursue that, he decides to pursue that. But nothing, like, I don't have anything personal against Sniper Wolf. I don't care what content she does. That's what she does, and she's good at what she does for a reason, because that's why she has that big of a fan base. The whole freebooting thing and stuff like that. Like I understand that point of view from Jack's films. And hey, continue on what he's doing. And it's up to the fan base to decide whether they're gonna continue to support her or not, right? But going to somebody's house and taking a photo of it and posting it online for your fan base to see, that's where it's dangerous. It's not dangerous that a 110-pound woman decided to be out there and thinks that a guy is afraid of her. No, it's your fan base that you cannot say with a clear conscience and with full, just with the utmost, the utmost thing to say, hey, I know that none of my 5.6 million followers will ever harm you. She can't say that. So therefore, because she can't say that, if something happens to Jax, it falls on her, and she's not gonna like it if something does. She will her ass will get hauled into court. YouTube will also get some sort of blame on it too, because the only way that she'll learn that's not right to do is if YouTube gets involved and Instagram. No one's mentioning Instagram. Instagram needs to get involved because it was done on their platform. What she did was done on their platform. What do you guys think about a content creator that has a big following doxing another creator, showing their actual home? Do you guys think that it's a slap on the wrist for her, or do you really think that she should get the book thrown at her so that way other creators don't do this? Because that's the last part I'm going to mention. If nothing is done to Sniper Wolf, if YouTube does not intervene, if Instagram does not intervene and give some sort of penalty to her, what's to say that other creators don't start going down this rabbit hole and say, hey, if Sniper Wolf did it, I can do it. I don't like Tito's content. Oh, I found out where he lives. I'm gonna go over there and pull a gun on him and his kids. Come on. I think that is the overarching thing that creators are concerned about. It's not just what she did to Jack, it's what other creators are going to end up doing if she gets nothing done to her. I mean, her lost deal with G Fuel, okay, that's something, right? She is losing revenue there. But is that really where her main revenue comes from? Is that what allows her to live the plush life that she lives, and the house that she lives in, and the car that she drives, and the things that she does? I think a lot of us wouldn't mind becoming wealthy. My mom would always tell me that when you come into wealth, don't let your head inflate as much as your finances have, because you don't want to be an asshole in life. My mom has always told me that if you come into great wealth, help the people that you can, which is why I think that in life I will never hit the lottery. I will never hit the lottery and be a mass millionaire, because I don't think the other millionaires would like me. They would probably hate my guts if I was to do a meet and greet and meet some of you. And if there's some of you that follow my channel that are going through rough times in life, what would stop me from just like giving you 50 grand to help catch all your bills up and to buy you a decent car and to make sure you have a little extra money in your pocket for you to then continue your livelihood and have a little cushion? What would stop me? Like, I swear on all things that's holy. I said this before on the live stream, and I absolutely mean it. If I ever hit like $100 million, I would try to help out as much people as I could that I meet along the way in life, to help them out of any struggling circumstance that they're in. Whether it's giving them 50 grand, 100 grand, whether it's, you're tired of renting a house, let me buy you a house to live in. Whatever it would be. Because when I die, I'm not taking that money with me. That money ain't going nowhere. I want to pay off all my dad's debts so he's debt free, and give him money for him and my stepmom to do whatever they want to do. I want to invest in my sister's businesses with my brother-in-law. That's what I would do personally for myself. And buy me a nice house. Not a mansion. Not something that screams I have money, but like a nice 4 or 5 bedroom house, maybe 2.5 bath. 2-car garage, nice sized backyard, not anything gigantic where I can have a horse, but something where my dogs can run around and get exercise. Just, a really nice house. Like a house that my dad has. Even if I was a millionaire, I would buy a house like that. I don't want to broadcast that I have money. And why do I need a big mansion? I would be, I would be stupidly scared if I bought me a freaking 10-bedroom mansion. Because if I was home alone, that house is so big, you don't know what's in your house at all times. You could be on one end of your house and some weirdo could have broke in with an axe and is stalking you throughout the house till it finds its moments that it wants to take you out. Like, I would get creeped out and I wouldn't even be in my mansion alone. So why buy one? Right? I'd be more comfortable in a nice size house, 4-bedroom or max 5-bedroom house. I'll be fine with that. If I was to buy me a car, it'd be an R34 Skyline. But the car that I would absolutely buy me first is, I think it's an 85 F3 CS, the Mazda RX-7. It's 85 or 87 model. It's an 87 model. That's what I would buy me. Not a Lambo, none of that shit. Like, why do I need it? I'm happily married. The only woman in the world that I ever want to impress is my wife. We've been together since 2009. And I love her today the same way that I fell in love with her when we met each other. So if there's anyone that I want to impress, it's my wife. So I'm still gonna have a good chunk of money if I ever hit the lottery and won. Why not help people out there? Why not? Why not be that one person that everyone says they're gonna be, actually follow through with the actions and do it? I see a lot of YouTube channels where people walk up and they test people like, oh, I'm hungry, can you spare me some change? And if a person actually gives them like $1 or $2, then they're like, oh, this is a social experiment. Here, I got $1,000 for you. Maybe I'll do something like that, but instead of $1,000, maybe I'll ask them like, what's the number one hard thing you're struggling with in life right now? If someone says a place to live, fine, let's go buy you a home. If someone's like, my car doesn't work well, it's breaking down, let's go buy you a brand new car. I'll buy you a brand new car. I'll get you a brand new house. Here's $10,000 to put in your bank to, get you a little boost. Continue working your job, work hard, and yeah. If it's a homeless person, if I ran into a homeless person, that really needed it, I don't want them to take drugs or drink alcohol and kill themselves further. So they would have to agree to get help first. But if it were genuinely just like a homeless person, doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, is just living on the streets and is hungry, I would give them the full works. Take them, go buy them a nice sized house in their city, in a good neighborhood that they can live in, turn the utilities on, take them to buy brand new clothes for them, take them to a salon, help them get a new hairdo, get cleaned up, get shaved up and everything. If they have a license, buy them a car so they can get around and start them with a life. Why not? Why not do that? And no, I'm not liberal. Don't anyone think like, oh, you're a liberal person who thinks that every wealth should be shared. No, I don't think other people's wealth should be shared to everybody out there. I'm saying if I came into wealth, this is what I would do. I'm not liberal. I'm not conservative. I'm me. So let's not go in that route. But that's what I would do if I came across millions and millions of dollars. And just live the rest of my life until I'm dead. But that's what I would do, is help people. I may not be able to help the entire country. I may not be able to put, everybody in a nice house in this country. God knows if I had that money, if I had an unlimited resource of money, then I would do that. Just knock on people's doors. If you had a nice house already, but you're paying a mortgage, let me pay off your house loan so it's paid off, right? If you're renting a house, let me talk to the landlord. If you like the house and you want to keep it, let me talk to the owner and ask them if they'll sell the house to you, and I'll pay the cash. If you want to move to a better neighborhood, let's find a house in a better neighborhood and buy that house for you. Like, why not? I've always been taught by my mom to never be greedy, never be stingy. Always give, right? I don't need to prove it to the whole freaking world. Like, I've said it before, like when I run into homeless people that are hungry, and they literally legit are hungry and everything like that, my wife and I will go buy them something hot to eat and then give them $20. We may not have a lot of money. We may only have like maybe like 80 bucks left in our pocket until our payday. We'll hand them $20. It's just in my nature to help people. I don't like to see people suffer or struggle, you know. So yeah. So just because you have money doesn't mean that you could do whatever you want per se, that you can hurt people. That's the reason why I just gave that whole entire spill. Can't just go out and hurt people, right? You have, you can be wealthy, but you got to be bound by the same rules as everybody else out there. To the person that doesn't even have a dollar in their pocket, the same rule that applies to them should apply to you. So what she did was foul and wrong. And yeah, I hope that something is done to where people will learn this is not acceptable. So anyways, that is really what I have to say. I am starting to feel the drowsiness, so I'm gonna go back to sleep it off, so that way I am good to return to work tomorrow, um, and get some work done, because I got a lot of work that needs to get done. So I love you guys very much. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you made it all the way through the end over here, hashtag help the world. So let me know you made it this far in the live stream, whether you watch the replay or here live right now. Let's help the world, and let's stop being greedy, selfish assholes. And let's really just kind of look at somebody and say that if you can spare a dollar in your pocket, why not? If you're not going to use that dollar for anything and that person is hungry, do it. A personal note for me too, one of my favorite people to give money to are those that are willing to work for it. Gentleman that comes up that says that will wash all the windows on my vehicle just to get a dollar to get something to eat. I'll just give him $5 and tell him don't worry about washing my windows. When I see him out there working for that money because he's hungry, that's what I do as well. Y'all take it easy, be cool, be safe out there. And I'll try to have a live stream this Saturday if I'm feeling 100% better. Until then, law.